I disagreed with Allison yesterday.
What?
When she was talking about the Mueller report and the people were saying, oh, it was going to be a big thing. Mueller himself wasn't saying that.
Yeah.
Jamie Raskin is on the committee.
Yeah.
For somebody on the committee saying it is different than the rest of us saying this is going to be a big deal. So I think it is going to be a big deal.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. All right, Jamie Raskin, Samoa. Please, Simone.
But the thing that really blew my mind is when we started hearing the crowds chanting, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. And it's just struck me as so bizarre that you would have a pro-Trump mob outside chanting against the vice president. And how would they know that Mike Pence was now the proper target of their wrath? How would they know that they were supposed to be mobilizing this effort against the vice president? But, those orders were clearly coming from above, and it went through not just the political coup side of the operation, but the violent insurrection side.
Yeah.
So, Jody, what do you make of this whole Secret Service thing?
Because that's frightening.
It's really terrifying. But, the problem, I was seeing two legal experts again yesterday disagreeing. There's you can't count on Mike Pence to tell the truth because they're like, Mike Pence must testify. But they're saying, he's been a sycophant for Trump for 4 years, still afraid to so I don't know whether he would tell the truth because he's really at the nexus of this. As Jamie Raskin said, this was really a coup, a plot against him and the United States Congress. And so clearly he didn't want to get in the car because he knew the plan was to take him away so that he couldn't.
So that Chuck Grassley could do it.
Right. Yeah, seems like Chuck Grassley might have some information that might be
say about that.
relevant.
I can't remember which show it was yesterday that pointed out they were supposed to take him to Andrews Air Force Base.
Yeah.
That was a safe location. That's like whisking him away. That's
it is
easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not.
Yeah.
They could have put him on a plane.
And I can see where they could plausibly say, oh, well, we were trying to protect him, keep him safe. But, it also could have been, as Raskin said, clearly he feels his Secret Service agents were directed by Trump's.
Right.
So there was a dual purpose in it as well. The whole purpose was to make it unsafe and get him out of there so that they could, Green Bay sweep. Who came up with that? Okay. Raskin, one more.
I'm not getting in that car. That was utterly chilling to me. Those are 6 of the most chilling words in American history to me because they were trying to remove him from the situation. And of course, there had been this effort to try to get Trump just to invoke martial law under the Insurrection Act.
Yeah. And then one more, Raskin.
It was clearly very much within the air that Donald Trump and his advisors were breathing. They were willing to use violent force against protesters. They were also willing to use protesters with violent force against the government, all in the service of making sure that Donald Trump survived in power. That was the whole goal.
Okay. So House conservatives discussed the possibility that Trump could declare martial law or
marital law. I'm
surprised
she didn't say marital law.
That would have been
That's on brand
Do we
for
have?
her.
Is it? Am I getting it right? Is it Gunsmoke? No. Is that Gun? Well, who's Marshall Dillon? No, it's something else. It's not Gunsmoke.
Marshall Dillon was Gunsmoke, but you were saying Festus.
Are you sure?
Yes, but you were saying Festus is
I
the
don't think
sidekick, and it's not.
Who is Marshall?
One I should look it
Who
up.
was Marshall Dillon's sidekick?
I don't
It was
know.
Festus. I think I'm getting it wrong. It's not Gunsmoke. Someone help Mommy. All right, we're just trying to figure out which Marshall is in charge.
Tombstone? No.
Just in
Are you
case
thinking Miss Kitty?
Miss Kitty?
No.
Festus
That was the
Hagen
girlfriend.
is Matt Dillon's deputy marshal
That's
and one
right.
of the main characters of Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke.
And
Okay,
Marshall
so I was
Dillon
right.
He first appeared in season 8.
Could I have the theme from Gunsmoke, please?
25.
Thank you. What? See, I did get that right. Sometimes
You
the
did.
flapping wires hit. I thought there was some
Well, you
other
just
Western
watched
I
it
was...
recently because you just started getting into it because you're so young.
That's correct. Okay. Her text was, in our private chat with, this is the Marjorie Taylor Greene text we were talking about. In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law. Okay. She did spell it Marshall.
Yeah. Like Marshall Mathers.
Right. I don't know on those things. Yeah, you don't know on anything, Margie. I just wanted you to tell him they stole this election. We all know they will destroy our country next. Please tell him to declassify as much as possible so we can go after Biden and anyone else. By the way, they're saying Kevin McCarthy, if he does become speaker, will have enormous pressure to impeach Biden.
Yes.
This is the theme to
I don't know
Gunsmoke.
for what, but I guess they don't
The border.
need a...
I just want you to be Miss Kitty in this whole scenario.
You can be Miss
Steve
Kitty.
Austin, you're so
Wasn't that Big Valley?
And Miss Kitty, apparently.
No, she was
All right,
Gunsmoke.
everybody focus. Focus. And
Well, you're the one who brought up Gunsmoke.
No, Miss Kitty was not in Big Valley. I watched the Big
well,
Valley.
we're under martial law, and I'm just trying to be cooperative.
I'm under marital law.
No, I'm under marital law, and so is he.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, that's
Travis
true.
is
I'm
too.
the farthest thing from marital
Yeah,
law.
Chris and I are footloose and fancy free. Okay. Footloose, bone, 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 bone.
That was a better theme song than
Toot,
Gunsmoke.
toot, Footloose. Okay. Wow, CNN has obtained 2,319 text messages. Wow. Which are your? Would you like? I'd like some fun facts, please. Thank you. They include messages from Trump's family, Ivanka, Jared, Don Jr., as well as White House campaign officials, cabinet members, Republican Party leaders, January 6th rally organizers, Rudy Giuliani, my pillow guy. What happened to re-inauguration day?
I missed it.
Oh, damn. Again? Sean Hannity, other Fox hosts. There are text exchanges with more than 40 current and former Republican members of Congress, including Ted Cruz, Jim Jordan, Mo Brooks, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here's some of my favorite, Jody. Because, Fox News is independent journalism and does not
Yes.
take orders from anybody.
Correct.
They are not political arm of the Republican Party at all.
No.
Mark Meadows to Sean Hannity. Stress every vote matters. Get out and vote. Sean Hannity to Mark Meadows. Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Sean Hannity to Mark Meadows. On it. Any place in particular we need to push. Mark Meadows. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Arizona, Nevada. Sean Hannity. Got it. Everywhere. Right, Sean. You're losing everywhere. So that would be where, I guess you, meaning you, the Republican Party and the White House, would need to make a push because you are an independent journalist who does not take march. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On it. Oh, wow. Okay. So the January 6th committee has received apparently inconsistent testimony, is what they're calling it, Jody.
Huh.
From key witnesses on a notable point about just how much effort it took Ivanka to persuade her father.
Oh, inconsistent with Ivanka's testimony.
Right.
Shocked. I
Lieutenant
tells ya.
General Keith Kellogg, who was Pence's national security advisor, said they asked him, so presumably the first time Ivanka went in, it wasn't sufficient, or she wouldn't have had to go back at least one more time, I assume. Is that correct? The transcript reads, yes, ma'am, Kellogg said. I think she went back there because Ivanka can be pretty tenacious, but multiple witnesses have described the specific episode differently to the panel. Other witnesses, including Ivanka herself, have testified Trump sent out a tweet supporting Capitol Police just a few minutes after she first went in and asked him to say something. In other words, according to these witnesses, it only took the president's daughter a few minutes to get him to send out a statement responding to the violence. While it's a small detail in the context of the whole attack, legal experts have said it could have bearing on Trump's potential criminal exposure. Here's the important part. Mentioned. Which you put in bold for me, helpfully.
I didn't do anything to that. That's the way it was printed in the original article.
Well,
The author himself.
Oh.
Or herself.
Well
Put it
then,
in bold.
the important part is the part that mentions.
Stephanie Miller.
Nothing.
I can see you. I'm looking right at you.
Quick, play Bob and Kimberly.
Where's my happy place? Go.
Those are my keychains. That's my keys I jangle for you.
Kimberly's sitting there looking at the video going, oh, Stephanie is so beautiful. Look at Stephanie is so, do you see how beautiful she is? I go, yes, she's very beautiful. Yes, she's beautiful.
Yes.
Kimberly's sitting there looking at the video going, oh, Stephanie is so
Really?
beautiful.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Kimberly. Oh, keys. Okay, and they say, though the question is just a small piece of the day's events, it may have legal significance. Glenn Kirshner,
What?
former federal prosecutor, said in March on
Stephanie Miller.
show that Trump's defiance of his daughter's entreaties could be evidence of a crime. That is a president in a very real way waging war against the United States. He said even his own daughter couldn't stop him. That is deeply incriminating information. Presumably, it's been provided by Ivanka under oath to the J6 committee. And if I were prosecuting the case, she would be one of the very early witnesses I called. After reviewing Politico's new reporting, Kirshner said the committee could be setting perjury traps for many of its witnesses.
It's not a trap if you tell him the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how that works.
Yeah, Glenn notified me of that article.
Oh, did he? Oh, did he? And so you sent it to me all bolded. Yes, Chris Lavoie.
Apparently, Marshall Dillon's first sidekick in seasons 1 through 7
Yes.
was named Chester.
Oh, I remember that now.
He walked with
Chester.
a limp. How
he
do
had
you
a limp.
remember something from
Come
the
and
first-
Marshall Dillon, Marshall Dillon, Marshall Dillon. That's what he used to say, and he had a limp.
How
Chester.
did you watch
and
the
then he
first
got
7
Festus.
seasons of Gunsmoke?
Because on
On
the
Cozy
oldies,
TV.
on the oldies
It's on Pluto.
thing, after I was born in 1981.
It was on a Saturday afternoon after
After Big Valley.
after Big Valley
Yes.
and before Bonanza.
Uh-huh.
Who was Big Valley? Which
Well,
Barbara
that that's right, that handsome
Also,
woman. Handsome woman. Get out of
what's
my
her name?
valley.
What's
Linda
her name?
Evans.
Linda Evans from Dynasty was on Big Valley first.
Yes. Get out of my valley.
What?
Hoss. No, he was on Bonanza.
That was Bonanza.
That
Hoss
was
was
Bonanza.
Bonanza, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, wow, we've just fallen right into a ditch.
I
Okay.
never watched any Western in my...
I watched the Big
Did
Valley.
you?
Oh God.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Okay.
Parents did.
Okay, then
did.
this will be a pop quiz. Who had the most egregious Asian character?
Hop
Hopsing
Duh.
or
It was Hopsing.
It was Hop Sing.
Miss? What about
Eddie?
Cour-
Mrs.
Courtship of
Mrs.
Eddie's father?
Mrs. Livingston?
Yes, Mrs. Livingston
No,
or
Hopsing
Hopsing
was worse. Hopsing was worse.
Yeah.
Really? Well, he only had one line, just bong dinner. That was it.
His name was Hopsing.
Yeah. Then there was that.
I would argue that Mrs. Livingston was a more racist stereotype because she had more lines and she would every episode. She did at every episode. Hello, Mrs. Eddie's father.
She had an accent because
Mister.
she was a Japanese actress.
Okay.
So I think you're making fun of her
They
accent.
just
Stephanie.
no. They made Hopsing only got to say dinner. Come on, with the big and he got to bring the big gong.
I never watched
Do you think he
Bonanza.
got pissed? He's just in his trailer. Just use the thing from last week. I did it exactly the
no,
same
he
way.
needed his
Just
paycheck.
Yeah.
No, you don't complain about that.
Yeah.
use the clip from last week. I'll be in my trailer.
Serious regular residuals.
Yeah,
Come
hi.
on.
That's
No,
right.
there's no residuals then, not until the late 70s.
Oh, thank you for that fun fact. Hollywood fun fact. From
Why do
Jody
you think
Hamilton.
that Gilligan's Island and all those shows can be in reruns
Yeah.
forever? Because
The
nobody,
Brady Bunch.
the actors don't
Yeah.
get paid.
You know, it's funny we brought up Eddie's father because Jody Hamilton's my best friend. People, let me tell you about her. She's so much fun.
She's a one-boy cuddly toy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, we can listen. Don't misgender her.
What?
What?
Yeah.
People, let me tell you about her. She's so much fun. Whether we're talking. Okay. 20. Yeah, Chris can't find it.
Why?
All right.
It'll
Play
be,
my childhood. Play the soundtrack of my childhood now. Do it.
I don't
Come in,
think-
Marshall Dillon. Marshall Dillon.